Right, welcome back to another episode of Wisbits Random Gaming, and today it's a lovely sunny day, yet it's near the end of September, and I'm going to take the missus down to Nerdbase. She is ecstatic. We're going to see some retro toys down there, hopefully pick up one or two games, and maybe she'll find something from her childhood. Anyway, let's head down to Nerdbase, which in my opinion, best toy shop in the country. And let's see what they've got today. They're always getting new bits and bobs in, so maybe there's some new bits. And yeah, see you down there. Now, one thing that I've always enjoyed when I head down to Nerdbase is the shops surrounding areas. It's such a nice place. Got some really nice, unusual type shops in and around the area. But yeah, let's head inside and let's see what they have got in stock. This is Nerdbase 2025. But before we show you, I'd just like to take a minute to show you some merchandise you can pick up for the channel at this time. We've got jumpers, we've got t-shirts, we've got hats, and also don't forget you can join the channel membership scheme from as little as 99 pence a month. Also, we've got a Facebook group where people could talk about random retro games, modern games, all things pop culture. So if that's your kind of thing, I'll leave a link to all of those in the video description below. If you do pick anything up, thank you for the support. It's hugely appreciated. And without further ado, let's check out what stock they've got in Nerdbase.
Now look at that. Big Josh WCW. That was always one of the figures that eluded me. No axe handle though. With the axe handle, I'm sure it'd be a lot more expensive. Look at that double dragon figure. Proper Poundland, but I love it. I don't know why, but that Big Josh is very tempting. Sounds wrong, that, doesn't it, on every sort of level. I can't really see much of it, but there's a Robocop backpack there. I'm going to buy it and take it to work.
Now, kind of a minor spoiler alert here. I did not buy the Robocop backpack, and I had no plans to take it to work. I don't think I would get through the door if I did so. Anyway, let's have a look around and see what random toys we have got in Nerdbase. A fantastic shop, and one I always love coming back to. Now, what on earth are these things? Are they some sort of Zorro toys? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I'm not a huge toy collector, and it's primarily due to space. So with the space that I do have, I go for my first love, which is video games, and I just don't really have the space, but I do love looking at what's out there, new stuff, and rekindling those memories and seeing things I remember from my childhood. Now, if I could, believe me, I would be collecting like crazy when it comes to toys. If you do like toy collecting, I'm going to give a shout out to my good friend Nicky over at Retro Bunga. I'll leave a link to his channel below. He's one of my favourite toy collector video type characters, and great channel, great energy from him. And if you watch his videos, you'll know it's emotional. Now, this is what I love about this shop. You can just see, look, Hercules figures, Xena figures, Austin Power figures. Just the most random stuff you can imagine. Last Action Hero toys there as well. And one for you Power Rangers fans. A little bit after my time. I wasn't really big into the Power Rangers. I've kind of got out of toy collecting at that point in life. But I do appreciate them. Now, I do remember this He-Man toy as well. The name escapes me of this horse. But it was really cool, and it was one that I didn't actually own as a child, and I owned a lot of He-Man stuff. Now these things go for quite a bit of money these days, especially if they're in good condition. The original WWF Hasbro ring, that one unfortunately wasn't in great condition. There wasn't a price on it, not that I could see anyway, so I wasn't considering picking it up. I've been down that Hasbro WWF route far too often. I'm not going back down there. Now I remember these Asterix toys. They were like pound shop sort of stuff back in the day. And that's not a knock on the toy. You'll find lots of stuff that you'll see in these kind of shops in this day and age that were probably sold at markets and, you know, shops discounted back in the 80s for £1. We didn't know how much they was going to be worth, did we? I'll show you a prime example of that later on in the video. Now these backpacks are made with the highest quality, and these two are the ones that really stick out for me, the Sonic, the Michael Myers, and I had to give some love to the Chucky one as well. Now I remember buying a load of these modern WWE, not F this time, Hasbro's when they was released, and I'll be honest, the reason I did so was to sell them on and make a little bit of money so I could go out and buy something that I was collecting, i.e. video games. And yeah, it was quite a profitable little thing at the time, I must say, especially if you had certain ones like Diesel. Now this Logan Paul figure here, now I know he's not for everyone, but nobody can deny, if you do watch wrestling in this day and age, that Logan Paul was transitioned really well to the entertainment world of WWE. Now I actually had that Sabu there. I bought that off my friend Rudy over at Retromania. Big up the Blackheart crew. I remember buying that off him with a few other ECW figures. Now I really like these modern Hasbros that aren't made by Hasbro, where you can get the more obscure wrestlers in figure form. Nick Aldis here, for example, I think this is the first one that they produced. I might be wrong, but they have gone on to produce a lot more like this one, and figures that actually glow in the dark like Adam Bomb. That was a really, really cool figure. Now I've been tempted many times to pick up this Ash, Ultimate Ash, Evil Dead figure, but to be honest with you, when I open the box, it just doesn't look right to me. Now that's not to say it's not a good figure. Look at all of these figures here, they're all great quality, and most of them I would happily pick up and put in my collection. But when it comes to Ash Williams, Ash is pretty much one of my favourite characters in any franchise. If I'm going to buy something that's Ash related, I need to make sure that it fits my tastes. Now here's another one I've been tempted on many times. The Roddy Piper figure, They Live. But I'll be honest, WWE figures, I think it might be Mattel, they released something that I think is better quality. Hefty price tag on the Ash versus Evil Dead box set there. I wouldn't pay that personally. I do like what is in the box, but yeah, I wouldn't actually pay that sort of price for it. That's not to say it's not worth it. A lot of this stuff is priced reasonably. Now I've been looking at this Jaws Light for a long time, and it's nice to see it out of the box. Although it would have been nice to see it actually active and working. It's not badly priced. I think it's about £50 to £60, and yeah, it's probably overpriced in the grand scheme of things, but I like it nevertheless. Now, as I mentioned earlier, it's these kind of cabinets that I really like looking at, with just random stuff placed in there, because you're going to find a toy that you probably owned back in the day, and it just reignites those memories. Now, these are definitely the smallest Masters of the Universe and G.I. Joe figures you're probably ever going to lay eyes on. Now, do you remember what I was saying earlier about figures that are really, really cheap back in the day and expensive now? Now, the Chuck Norris Ninja Commandos range, they go for a lot of money these days, and I assure you, I remember buying these from my local market for £1. If only I'd have known. Now, the amount of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff available in this shop is unreal. You could spend all day on it. Now, here is a line that I remember collecting the figures for, but I didn't have any of this kind of spin-off stuff. The Secret Wars collection, I love these figures. They came with a little shield and a hologram. Great times and real nostalgic vibes. And again, it's these kind of cabinets I love looking through. You're going to see something that you definitely owned back in the day. I think what we're looking at now is gargoyles. I didn't own any of that. It was a little bit after my time. So not for me, but go down here. And these Care Bear things, I remember Care Bear toys out and about. Of course, I didn't own any, honest. But yeah, obviously I remember them and they give me memories. I remember them being all over the toy shops. Look at this, the Black Hole. I remember watching this Disney film back in the day, and there was a robot that died in it, and as a kid I cried. Real tears. Now, I've got such a love-hate relationship with the WWF Hasbro line. I've tried on at least 2 or 3 occasions to try and complete the set, and failed every time, and I keep telling myself I'm not going to go back down that road, and at this stage I'm staying true to that, but who knows what the future holds. I do love those toys. Now, Bad Eggs, I've never heard of that brand, that line of toys. They've been here a long time. I don't think they're selling. Look at that Rat King. I had that figure. One of my favourite Turtles figures growing up was Rat King. Very well made, very well posable figure. I love that one. Now, this is another line of toys. These superheroes, the DC ones that I collected as a kid. I didn't have too many of them, but I had a good few, and I really loved that line of figures. I had Batman, I had the Joker, Riddler, I had Superman as well, and I think it might have been the Flash. Shout out to Retro Kev. He loves these things. I did text him to see if he needed one of these that you'll see. He says he's got them all. I'm not sure whether I should commend him on that or not, but yeah, he's got them all. Congrats. Now, these sort of toys, I remember trying to get those sort of things for Christmas. But if it had any sort of goo or gunk in it as a child, my parents straight away made some sort of excuse so they didn't have to buy it for me. I think we've all been in that sort of position, haven't we? I mean, how many of us asked for Mr. Frosty as a child and never got it? I know I was in that category of children. Now, a lot of people will be thinking, well, I got it. Well, clearly I wasn't loved. Well, not as much as you guys anyway, eh? Shout out to me mum, shout out to me dad. You had your reasons. I don't hold a grudge. This Ninja Turtle black and white Ronin spin-off type figure, I love that. Looks absolutely fantastic. Although I can't say the same thing for the Masters of the Universe Revelation figures. I'm not a fan. Now some of these newer figures are really cool, and look at this, it's the crossover everyone wants. Master of the Universe and Thundercats, but why Chitara? Should be Lion-O, should be Panthro. Other than that, I'm not interested. Take it away. Now let's have a look at some gaming related merchandise here. We've got some Street Fighter figures, we've got some Link stuff, and we've got some Mortal Kombat stuff as well. Some really cool stuff overall. Tekken figures, we've got Witcher as well. It's not just your random retro toys that you're going to find in here. You're going to find your video game related items as well. Now I was really curious on these things here. Now I wish they'd have had one out on display, because I wanted to know, is this actually what you've got in the box? I was going to ask, but I never got around to it. It was quite busy in there. I was on a bit of a time limit as well, and it was the same with this, the Little Nightmares thing. Now it's a little bit more structured on the box, so I'm guessing that is what you're going to get in the box, but the Ryu thing, it didn't look as certain to me. Now let's go check out some video games, and obviously the PlayStation 2 section, not exciting to look at. It's PlayStation 2, obviously got some of the worst spines in history, and there is a lot of fodder on this shelf. A lot of FIFAs. Some pretty decent games on the PS3. Nothing major, nothing groundbreaking. But what I will reiterate about Nerdbase is that their main focus really isn't video games. And I've heard on many of an occasion that they have thought about just stopping selling that kind of stuff. I'm glad they haven't. It's still good to see, as they do occasionally get, you know, some really good items in. They're not a specialist in video games, so anything you see down here is a bit of a bonus. But as you can see here, there's still some really, really good items. Look at all of these Game Boy games here. They sell loose stuff as well. Some great Mega Drive and Master System titles there. DJ Boy in particular, I loved that game as a child. But yeah, some really high quality stuff. And Spawn on the PlayStation 1 was one I was considering picking up on the day. The Game Genie as well, what a machine that was. It had its controversies, but nevertheless for the consumer it was a brilliant, brilliant machine. Now these are only on PlayStation sleeves, quite high in demand, and I was quite shocked to see one in here today. I know a lot of people I talk to are collecting that series. I don't know how rare the Ratchet and Clank one is, but it's here and reasonably priced. Now the Jericho Steelbook is one I've been looking to add back to my collection. I used to have it on the 360, seller's regret. Moved it on a long time ago, and you know what, I'm going to take a look at the state of that PlayStation 3 one, see if it's in good nick. It's reasonably priced at £15. I'm definitely going to consider picking that one up today if it's in good condition. We all know Steelbooks, they do rust and sometimes they just don't get looked after, but that one on first glance, yeah, it looked pretty good. Some Saturn stuff in here as well. We've got some N64. We have got some Dreamcast. There's a lot of games in these cabinets. Sonic seems to be hiding some stuff from me as well. God damn you, Sonic. There might have been one or two games I wanted there, but you just got in my way. Now over to the 360 and the OG Xbox. I love looking at the OG Xbox section when I come down here, but what you've got to be careful of, and I will tell you this, I almost made this mistake once or twice when I've been down here, is that they do not separate the NTSC and the PAL copies of games. So before you buy, make sure you can take home the game that you're picking up and play it. Now, if you're a loose cart collector, there's some really good stuff here, I'm not going to lie. Now over to another Xbox 360 section, and admittedly there's a lot of fodder here just above the PC sort of games, and a few GameCube games as well, and DS mixed up with each other. These have been kind of thrown on the shelf and just at a whim, hopefully someone will pick them up. But I do love those Master System boxes, save for the Mega Drive, but the Master System holds a special place in my heart. Now, like any other game-related shop, Nerdbase seems to be struggling to shift Xbox One titles on. There's a really good range of OG Xbox stuff here, quite cheap as well, which is really good to see. I know I've picked up a few from this shelf in the past to add to my OG Xbox collection. It doesn't look like they've had anything in recently, and what I was looking at today was pretty much the same as what I found on the last occasion I was down here. Now, I did manage to pick up a couple of games today, and I brought up this Narnia game today, and I've had this game in the past. It's terrible, but this was a really nice steelbook, and I do love a steelbook. It was in really good condition, and at £4 there was no way I was going to let this game sit on the shelf. Happy to add it to the collection. Got that strange obsession with steelbooks at the moment. If I see one, I have the strong urge to pick it up. I'm not going to play this. I played it when it first came out, and it's a terrible, terrible game. Now, I did pick up this Clive Barker's Jericho. It was in really, really good condition, and it's £15. It's reasonably priced. Cheaper than what I see the 361 go for these days. I've been seeing that go for 25 plus, if it's in good condition, that is. So happy to add this one to the collection. I didn't mind the game when it first came out. I didn't play it as much as I should have done, so this is going to give me the opportunity to dive back into this one. I only bought it originally because of the Clive Barker name. I used to read a lot of his books when I was in school, and yeah, pretty happy with this one for £15 considering the condition that it's in. Now, as I said, I was down here with the other half, and she picked up this Back to the Future purse. It's really well made, and if you love Back to the Future, you've got to love this purse. So now this is going to be storing all of her cards, and probably my cards as well, because of course my money is her money. That's how life rolls when you get to my age. A little bit on the pricey side, I will say. This was £30, but the quality is really, really high on this one. It's really well made, and yeah, it's a one-off, unique kind of item. So yeah, we was quite happy to pick that one up. Now, when I got home as well, although this technically isn't a pickup from the shop, I found this one through my letterbox, courtesy of the postman, and limited run games. We have got Steel Assault on the PlayStation 4. Now, this is going to go high on my list of games that I'm going to be playing soon. I've got a couple of games that I've got listed I need to play first. I need to complete Shinobi, then I need to get onto Ninja Gaiden, and I think this probably is going to be the next game on the list. It's either this or Ninja Gaiden. I think this is a fantastic game, and I'm really happy to have picked this one up today. And like I say, whilst technically it's not a pickup from the shop, I got it on the same day, so I think I can chuck it in with my pickups for today. So that was Nerdbase in September 2025. It's still, in my opinion, the best retro/toy shop in the UK. Now, admittedly, I didn't see a great deal of new stuff in the shop today. Now, it was there, don't get me wrong, but maybe I just haven't taken a long enough break between trips to the shop, and that's why I was greeted with a lot of stuff that I've already seen on a number of occasions. But regardless, it's still a fantastic shop to go to. There's no way you can go to Nerdbase and not pick nothing up. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.